Okay, it's been 2 weeks since I made a video. Here's what I learned the last 2 weeks. The New York Mets are definitely still the New York Mets. Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies, still Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Atlanta Braves, still the Atlanta Braves. Welcome into another edition of Bold and Braves. I'm Chris Manell, and for the first time in the history of this series, we've been doing this series since December. For the first time, we're doing it with a first place Atlanta Braves team. They're in first place in the NL East, and I'm excited to talk about it. We're going to talk about it today on another edition, but first, before we get too far into it, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers ASAP. We're on the road to 2,000, so help us out if you can. If you've already subscribed, like this video, and continue following us on social media at Atlanta Sports Unlimited on both Facebook and Twitter. I know that after my intro today, you all are like, what is he trying to say? What is he talking about? So let's hop into it. And what I mean by the Atlanta Braves still being the Atlanta Braves, etc., nothing new is happening in the NL East. Nothing is new. In the last 2 weeks, the Braves have vaulted back into first place. The New York Mets have crumbled. They've faded into mediocrity. And the Philadelphia Phillies have remained good, but not great. This is all typical. We've seen this story before. It happens pretty much every single year. All is right in the world again. Let's start with the Atlanta Braves. They're back into first place. They've had this great run over the past couple of weeks. In their last 10 games, they're 9-1. They're on the verge of sweeping their second straight series. I mean, things are going well for the Braves for really the first time all year. They came into this year with such great expectations. I mean, they were a game away from the World Series last year. They'd won 3 straight division titles, and many expected them, including me, expecting them to make another run at the division. If not, the division and further. Say the World Series. Maybe not get there. I don't know if the Braves are at that level at the moment, but they had the talent to compete in the National League. Well, then the season goes poorly. Freddie Freeman gets off to a slow start. Mike Soroka never takes the mound. Huascar Ynoa, who came on, kind of splashed into his rookie season earlier this year, well then he got hurt. Everything was going wrong. Ronald Acuna Jr. was kind of the peak of everything going wrong last month when he tore his ACL. He's out for the year. But then the Braves go make all these little moves. John Peterson, Jorge Soler, Adam Duvall, Richard Rodriguez, all these little moves. And they've worked out. They've worked out very well, with the Braves now back in first place where they should be. At 65-56, that's their current record. They're in first place, like I keep saying. This is where I probably would have put them at the beginning of the year. This is where they should be. It's been a long road to get there, but this is where they should be. The Philadelphia Phillies. Let's talk about them. Bryce Harper, he's putting in another great season together, and he puts together a lot of those. He's had a great career. I mean, he's often considered one of the best players in baseball. I'm a Bryce Harper fan. I like to watch the guy play, and I know that hurts some Braves fans' ears, but he's putting together another great season. But the thing about Bryce Harper is, even when he plays on really good teams, the team is never special. He has never made it out of the divisional series, the divisional round in the playoffs. And he often misses the playoffs. It's kind of, he's better than Mike Trout in Anaheim in terms of making the playoffs. Like, Mike Trout, the best player in baseball, never makes the playoffs, it seems. Bryce Harper at least will get there every once in a while, but it's not an every year thing, and he doesn't do anything once he gets there. Great expectations every year. He turns in great seasons individually, but his team can never kind of climb that summit. We're seeing it again this year with the Phillies. They've remained really good, but not great. I can absolutely see them hanging around in the wild card hunt, in the division hunt, the rest of the season, and they could even very well make the playoffs. Especially if the Reds or the Padres falter down the stretch, or even the Braves if they kind of fade back into the background in the division. We'll see, but this is not a special team that they have. So we've seen that pretty often with Bryce Harper and his teams. Good teams, great player, not really going to do anything. This isn't their year. And then you have the New York Mets. The New York Mets, I might be cursed, and this is a good thing for Braves fans. Going all the way back to my lifetime, they've only made the playoffs 5 times, and they've really been cursed since the Bill Buckner series in 1986. Ever since they won that World Series, I mean, the Mets, they've had some great expectations for years. What have they actually done? Not a whole lot besides that 1 year with Matt Harvey when they went to the World Series. So, once again, pretty typical. High expectations. Not really living up to them. They had all these big-time acquisitions in the offseason. Frankie Lindor, Carlos Carrasco. They pair these guys with Pete Alonso and some of their other, special players. They signed James McCann, but it's not happening for them this year either. Especially with Jacob deGrom now out. He's really the heart, soul, the everything of their team. They're just the New York Mets. I mean, what else can you say? We've talked so much about returning to normalcy in 2021, just we as a society, not even in sports, but just returning to normality. Well, it's August, the Braves are in first place, and the NL East is back to normal.